Hey, everybody, this is Perch, and I'm here with Larry. And Larry, it's the last day, and I want to say a big congratulations to you. This campaign, Gemini Jump, it's been successful. So how are you feeling?
Shocked. Honestly, shocked after the first day when we launched, and on the little 1 hour stream we did the launch day, and we hit our
Mhm.
goal. And this is a joint effort. Though you are, you step back. You're kind of the power behind. You're the Karl Rove to my George W. in the best way possible. You're the
I'm
man
just trying
behind the
to.
power.
I'm the guy who's trying to support indie artists. That's what I'm doing.
You're trying to get more comics out there, and you helped get
Yeah.
this out here. And I'm looking forward to getting it into the people's hands. I am shocked that we hit our goal within the first hour, and I'm the positive turnout. And I'm looking forward to not only people getting their copies in the mail and those who
Mhm,
back the commission sketches as well as the bonus material that you're throwing in there.
mhm.
Everything from prints, behind the scenes making of, the pitch that I pestered you to get done, and you in between your and the mini spinning plates, you came up with the pitch. We worked, bounced that off, made that, and we it's kind of like having someone to work with and to help get this thing out there in the world, because it'd be me packing all this up and shipping it out my small little post office if it
No,
wasn't
it's
for your assistance. And I appreciate everything you've done, but you have a big part in this success as well, and I have to thank you and your wonderful community that you have fostered in a very though you do get snarky at times, and I kind of dig that, and kind of salty. You're not all that all the time, because if you were, I don't know if I could associate
no
with.
one no one can tolerate that. No, the credit goes to the people, obviously the people listening to this, people who supported this. And I like the fact that there's people who certainly backed it. Thank you very much. And I like there's people who looked at it and said, this isn't my thing. I don't want this, but I'm still going to share it with some other people who might. And that's also awesome.
Exactly.
Either way is good by me. Now, so a couple things to this. You referred to it earlier. So we're backing this up or bagging this up, boxing it up, I should say. And hopefully, I filmed a little video. So as you're listening to us, you're seeing kind of some of the things that are going into this box. We're giving you a few things extra. One, we've got a nice mailer here. It's not a Gemini mailer, which would have been nice for Gemini Jump, right? That would have been
Exactly.
good
That would be
synergy.
fun to have a
Um,
little connection.
but I did have some troubles, and I know other people have not, but I had some troubles getting my hands on Gemini mailers. So it wasn't a desire to kind of cheap out on that. It's just, it seemed like that was a part that was difficult. So I got these, which I've used many times for shipping comics out. And if you're looking at the little video that's playing, we will put some styrofoam in there. The comic's going to be bagged. It's going to be then put in an envelope. It's going to be protected. It's going to have some little styrofoam things on top of it to kind of keep things from jostling around. You should read you if you ordered this, you're going to get your comic in good shape. If for whatever reason they decide to play football with your box, certainly bitch to your mailing service, but then also come to us. We'll treat you right. Um, but not advertised is we're adding some extra things, and that's what you were just referring to, some behind the scenes stuff. So inside the package, we're putting the original concept script. We're putting a bunch of the original sketches. We're putting in some stuff about the making of this, some of the original panels, and just kind of, I think it's 6 pages of just bonus material that are going into this. They're printed on some nice linen paper, so it kind of gives you a nice little feel to it. A thank you full color illustration as well, and then of course you get the comic. And if you purchase the commissions, which is a hell of a deal. Now, Larry, I got to ask you this.
Yes.
We put some commissions up there, but clearly not enough because most of the commissions were gone in an hour.
Not even an hour. I think they're the first things to go, because that's one of those things. I've not done commissions in a while. I've been busy working on book one and book two currently, but that's a whole other story.
We'll
That's a
get to
story
that in a
for
second. Yeah.
2022. But yeah, I was shocked how quickly they went. We're 5 sketch card commissions, which is, if you've ever seen a sketch card, it's going to be on
Mhm.
this is actually going to be on watercolor paper, which has a nice tooth to it, so it takes really good well to blue line. It's going to be black and white art, because I've tried doing color pencils, I've tried doing color markers, even the Prismacolor stuff. I'm not that talented, and I can't color like that to save my life. So I'm not going to butcher somebody's artwork by doing that. And then there's 6x9. That's going to be on watercolor as well. I'm tempted. I might even break out my watercolors for some of those because I can do pretty fine lines with watercolor. But that
Wow.
more likely that will be ink. Uh, but it's going to be black and white commissions, pieces, single character. So I think for future campaigns, I'm going to have to allot enough time because I was also thinking this is going to be doing, coming up Thanksgiving, then Christmas, the crazy shipping in the crazy world that we got going on now. That's just so I'm trying to I want to make sure everybody tries to get whoever backed, even though it's January estimated delivery date. I want to try to get it to them as soon as possible. So I think for the future we're going to extend out and maybe even do waves. So if you missed it maybe halfway during the campaign, which I consider doing this time, but I'm like, I don't want to just put it out there and then be, get behind on doing these because you'll do the best you can. And
So that's part of the impetus behind this is that we're, a couple people have mailed me and said, you put this out too cheap.
And I heard that too. I heard that as well.
And I look at that and I go, yeah, we absolutely probably could have raised the price on this, made money. But on the other hand, I don't know. You're the creator. You're getting the money off this. Are you unhappy?
No, I'm not actually. One thing that's bothered me is the format that has been laid out. The $25 plus $10 shipping and handling. You maybe get a 48-page book. Okay, maybe it's in color. You might get it in 18 months. And that issue right there, it's a issue across the board. I've been burned by a couple of projects. There's one right now from you consider a legend in the industry who has backed this project in 2018, and I still haven't seen it. And it's this thing. It's like, oh, I'm working on it. Oh, progress. Worth the wait. And I'm like, no, it's not. If I get it because it's too pat, I'm probably just turn around and sell it, if not give it away to someone.
3 years later.
Exactly. But I think that right there, the money left on the table issue, I don't see it as like that because we are selling a comic. We're not trying to change the world. We're just putting more comics out there in the world and that little small bit of change. And even though it might be a small bit of change in my pocket compared to how some other people do campaigns, that's fine. That's how they want to do it. This is how we wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And it ain't like you twisted my arm. It ain't like I'm like, we would give it away for free. No, we ain't giving it away for free. I'd like to make a little money, but I'm not going to rip people off. And I feel like charging too much, be ripping people off. That's just how I am.
Well, I think everybody deserves a right, certainly, to do it the way they want to do it. And if there's no knock against somebody who has a $25 or whatever price point. This is the way we wanted to do it. And that's all there is to it. This is the way we want to do it. You're getting some money in your pocket. I hope the people who back this feel like they get a good quality product. I am hoping we raise the bar a little bit on what people receive. It's not coming to you in a manila envelope or, all.
Which I've shipped in manila envelopes. Yeah, I learned my lesson.
I back a lot of comics and I've sold stuff in the store. I'll never forget several comics came to me with somebody basically threw an address label on the back of the comic itself, and then just mailed it loose, and that I couldn't sell that on the stand. So I'm hoping that people feel like this is a pretty good bargain for what they're getting in terms of comes to you in a good quality shape. But I think we could have certainly made more money off this, but at the same time, we're trying to get some work out there. I mean, I think I've been irritated that things are so expensive right now. The last thing I want to do is say, I think comics are too expensive. And by the way, here's an expensive comic.
Yeah, that's an issue. And I think the downside is there are cheaper printing options out there. You have to order minimum orders and everything. But in doing so, people understand how cheap they are. And a lot of those things, a little bit of jostling, the covers come right off. The pages start coming, especially when you get over the normal amount of like 32 pages stapled. This is a 48-page comic. The paper quality is heavier because it's that gloss coming from Kablam. It's printed in America, which ain't sitting on some ship. We came from China, sitting in outside California in a log jam.
You joke, but I mean, when we started this, that wasn't. You had said you wanted to work with an American company, And nothing. I've worked with American companies, worked overseas companies. Nothing. I've had good success and bad success all across the board. But I agreed with you. I thought that was a good thing to do. And but we didn't know this at the time, that there would be massive supply chain issues, ships stuck at harbor. I mean, so I mean, this definitely was not intentional. But I mean, these books have been sitting here bagged and boarded for some time now, and it is getting us to this point where the campaign's going to close in about 24 hours from when you're seeing this video. Looks like it's going to. I wish I could extend it by a couple days. It's ending. It's 31 hours left as of right now, which means it's going to end kind of midnight Friday, I think, sometime around that time period. So hopefully you backed it. But basically, so people don't know behind the scenes, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Larry, we have the addresses. I'm printing some labels now. Mm-hmm. Boxes are packed now. And this is the plan is, Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning, it's a trip to the post office.
Yes. And we're at the mercy of the Postal Service, which I understand they're overtaxed. There's also contractors that they work with, because this isn't all UPS vehicles going to and fro. They're putting it on FedEx and UPS and all that stuff, middlemen, DHL, what have you, and then getting it to the other distribution places and warehouses, what have you. Mm-hmm. But we're going to get this out as fast as possible.
I think some people will have this in their hands.
No, don't quote you on this.
No. It sounds like, because so from looking at the addresses, looking some things up, I see at least one of the backers is saying they would have it in 48 hours. So as early as Thursday of next week, people are going to have comics in their hands.
Yeah, and I think that was our goal.
That was our goal. Yeah,
to get it in people's hands, and that's one of the problems I think that we are trying to kind of, and not necessarily bring light to, but also just trying to alleviate getting in people's hands. You pay for something, you get something. You're not, waiting around. And I think one of the things I think you've been around in the block longer than I have when it comes to comics. You have noticed how many comic book fans, people that buy it, it's cheap, it's easy, it's free to be a fan. It's not so free to back and pay for comics. And you're running a shop. It's like, okay, that copy of Pit #3 is going to be in anytime now, anytime.
And that's salt in the wound right there. Yeah,
there you go.
Nothing against. By the way, I now I'm saying that I realize Dale Keown has reemerged and is doing stuff. Not a knock on him. It's just in the '90s, there were a lot of Image comics. I mean, Youngblood. I forget. There was one that was a year and a half late, and it was so painful because when we originally ordered that comic, things were really hot. And then the market kind of collapsed, and this comic hadn't come in. I remember seeing the advance invoice, and it's like, hey, you're 250 comics of like Bloodsport #3. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm not even going to sell 5 of those. And but again, none of this was. You said it there, but I want to reiterate: none of this is meant to poke at other campaigns. Everybody's got their own deal. Life interferes. It's all the rest. It's just for this one. We wanted you to order a book and get a book quick.
No, that's the issue. That's the issue right now, is getting your hands on what you pay for, and do unto others as you'd have them do upon you. Sure. It's a good way of going about it. And that's hokey stuff. Well, maybe it is, but that's the thing. Somebody gives me money for something, I like to give them what they paid for. Yep. And hopefully they like it, because that's everything's subjective when it comes to this stuff. And sure. The goal is to get this out here, get it into people's hands, get the commissions, and get everything into people's hands. And digital comics, for those are unfortunately outside the U.S. because of the Europeans and the UK with their whole VAT system, value-added tax, and exorbitant amounts of increasing shipping prices, where it makes it like, oh, this $10 comic is going to cost $30. So it's
So let's talk about that for a moment, because a number of people have written in and said we are international, and I've had a couple people write in and say, I don't care if I have to pay $30. I want to support you guys. I want the comic, even if I'm eating up that money in shipping. I still want to have it. So what I would say, we're trying to get this campaign cleared, but here's what you do if you're an international customer or you're somebody outside the U.S. You mail Larry, and you just say, I want it. You include me on it. We're going to work. I'll get you a quote. We'll get it back to you. You can decide if you want to pay $25 in shipping. I'm not going to mark it up. None of us are going to mark it up. It's just literally if you want to pay $30 because it's important to you, you want to support this comic, you want to have it, cool. We'll give you that price. We're going to set up I think like a PayPal for you there, Larry. People can pay direct. We'll ship it out to you. You can still get that internationally. We'll still allow that. And support you. It's more complicated. Like you said, it's more complicated because the prices are fluctuating right now a lot. I kind of hate it because we'll mail it off and then hopefully have by St. Patrick's Day. I don't know, wherever.
I've gotten lucky sometimes, but then it's all hit and miss. And I think that right there, if you're listening to this and like, you know what, I'm gonna take my chance on it. I'm willing to pay upwards like $30, what have you, whatever it is, whatever you're willing to pay. Sure. I'm in, I don't know, Tasmania, I don't know, or South Africa, wherever.
To you, it's important to you. That's
exactly. And then you reach out to either me or Perch, and get the quote, because that's the thing. It's like and hopefully you'll get back to us in time. Well, hey, this is how much it's going to be. That's good with you. Great. If not, okay, that's fine. We tried, and get it to you as fast as possible, or send it out as fast as possible before the prices can change. Yep. Hopefully not for the worse, and you get it as soon as you can. And I think that right there, but we'll get the campaign, get everything from the campaign all out, and then once that's fired off towards their, as they say, their forever homes.
So I want to add one more thing here, because we just looked right before we went on the air. So people have asked, can you extend it by 2 days? And it's ending midnight on a Friday. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Why don't we have it ended on a Sunday night? It was just by nature of what we did at the beginning. I didn't think about ending it on a Sunday night. I mean, who would have, I don't know, kind of an arbitrary day. But we can extend the campaign, certainly. But this system kind of sucks. It goes back to why I don't really like Indiegogo or Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So when I look at it, it's like you can extend this campaign up to 60 days, but a minimum of 30 days. So if we hit extend, we can't extend it by 2 days. We can extend it by 30 days. And I don't want to extend it by 30 days. We want to get people their comics out.
Yeah. And that's an issue. And I understand that there's people that may say, okay, I need till Sunday for whatever reason, whatever it might be. We just can't do it here. And if you still want to Indiegogo, yes. Yeah. But direct sales, that's a whole other story.
It is. So reach out. If this is you and you were like, I didn't get in on this, but I'd like to, we'll put the address in it. Reach out to Larry. You can pay him through the PayPal or whatever system. I mean, my goal here is to get a direct purchase as fast as humanly possible anyway, because I don't like living by these dumb arbitrary rules. But basically, reach out. We'll get you the comic. We have some extra capacity of the comics. Again, very, very humbled by all the people. A lot of people came in to support this, and this is awesome. And hopefully you like the whole package, what you get. But, if you want this thing, we'll find a way to get it to you.
And that's exactly what the point is, to get into their hands. And I think with the little bonus materials that you're throwing in there and the quality packaging that you're putting it together with, I think this will grow. And so when we get on to book 2, which will be coming sometime in 2022, art's complete for that. All the art, lettering is past 50% at this point.
So let's ask about that. So shifting gears for a second, part of the goal of this was to create a universe, and you'll see it in the book. This is definitely a self-contained story. When you get to the end of this, you get a full story.
Yes, that's in every story from now until I decide to either just take a break from it, quit, whatever happens. There's at least 2 books. There's going to at least be 2 books, because I haven't worked so hard on this second book to just shelve it forever. No, that ain't going to happen. Each story will be self-contained, a complete story. None of this ends on a cliffhanger. You got to wait another however long to launch the next campaign or the next book comes out. Everything is a complete story. It's done in one. But that doesn't mean it is if you're richer for reading all of it. Kind of thing.
For sure. You're saying that you're going to put together a 24-part miniseries where the 2 protagonists, these 2 girls, are going to have to go find swords.
You joke, but we already got Liz, the hot-headed one, the more rebellious, the almost rocker one has a sword. So
Okay.
maybe get Betty a sword as well. No, but we're
No
this
quest needed. Yeah.
no quests, no 24 parts, no tie-in books, no galas. But
We're shipping this out. You'll have it in your hands. But meanwhile, behind the scenes here, we have how you've been working on book 2. So people
yes,
get an immediate follow up if you want it. How long is book 2?
64 pages, still black and white.
64 pages.
Yes, 64 pages.
Bigger.
Much bigger. I was going to be 96 until I realized that's too much. It's going to kill me. I had to rein that back in. Also, the story I would have to pad it out because the story I came up with
So you bendiced it a little bit.
No, I Alan Moored it. Because the Tharg's Future Shocks. If you ever, they're honestly better than EC Comics. I hate to say it, but the Tharg Future Shocks of 2000 AD does. And even the Grant Morrison ones, amazing stuff. These it's short stories, amazing short stories, 6 pages usually. But yeah, compressing the story into digestible chunks. So I think I think there's something to be said for cutting out that kind of verbose multi-pages. Copy and paste the same panel for like 2 or 3 pages, back and forth, like 1 2 words here and there. It's showing it's artistic. I'm like, no, it's padding. That's padding right there. Give me some Kevin McGuire faces, but I think that the next book will be. I think it should be better received. Because honestly, this is the best art I've done so far. It's more over the top. It is more action filled. And it has the thing everybody loves, superhero.
So the second book that you're putting out, 64 pages, and you're using some characters people know in this.
Well, maybe one character people know, which is Black Terror, which is honestly, I love Black Terror. I've always loved Black Terror. I came across him. There was these reprints, I believe, if not mistaken, it was FemForce. In the back of FemForce, they'd have some of the reprints, and one of the things, I'm not mistaken, had an image of Black Terror. I was like, who is this guy? And then it's before the whole Project Superpowers, and I'm like, Project Superpowers did it, so I can't do it, whatever. And I'm like, out of hell with that. This is public domain. I'll do whatever I want. So I went off and did my own thing. And also the character named Wonder Man, not to be confused with Simon Williams, and Lash Lightning, who is who was formerly known as Lightning Girl. Super speed, lightning abilities, and everything like that. Pretty much somewhat invulnerability. But yeah, they're our 2 lead heroines, Liz and Betty, encounter these wonderful characters. And I think you'll have the cover, at least one cover, because I'm tempted, since it's like superhero related, I might do a variant. do some variant covers for this, which is
Larry.
I'm tempted. I'm very tempted, but I'm thinking that's just, but it would be by me, because I don't know if I'd probably have to do some pastiches of some different styles, do like a Rob.
But we'd be giving the variant away for free with the comic.
Oh man, I don't know about that. It's like we'd have to do like, you buy 50 of the main comic cover.
Larry,
do
what are you
one.
doing?
I wouldn't do that. That's psychotic.
That is psychotic. No, I want to play with this format, but definitely with you. God damn it, Larry, you're killing me.
I would kill myself over that. No, not that way. Not that way. But no, it's just this idea of playing around the superhero concepts and everything and having fun with it. And but speaking of that, and with the bonus material that you're getting for book 1, which is going to be worth it, we're seeing a little bit of hints, some more previews and hard copy versions of your comic, which I didn't realize until now is going to be like over 1,000 pages when it's done.
He'll be done in roughly 30 years. Yeah, he'll be done when I'm done. No, but there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, I think this is a start. Definitely will get some comics out there, but we learned a lot. And I think hopefully if you're out there producing some comics, we mentioned Kablam. I've been really happy with them. I think the quality just off the charts for what's a good comic, good quality, good delivery, good, I mean, everything. And we didn't fall prey to the supply chain issues. So I mean, it's been a solid experience, and I'm very excited, kind of reflecting back on this year and what's happened. It took longer to get to this point when we started the campaign, and it all kind of ran like just smooth as could be.
Yes, I'm actually, as much as I have learned from working on book 1 and book 2 of Gemini Jump, 2022, I will be doing. I've basically been working on Gemini Jump for nearly like 18 months, give or
Yeah,
take,
gotta do something else.
nonstop. And pretty much, well, that's pretty much it. That's there's like been nothing in between, because it's like I have to get this out of my head, get these ideas on the paper, or in this case, into print and into people's
Hmm.
hands. And I think whatever comes up in 2022, which will be interesting for both of us, because I know you're going to knock it out of the park with your campaign, which is going to be fantastic. I think that this is going to be a good year for comics, and that Mark Miller are going to be proven right with the whole every like 20-year cycle. Things get a little wild again. You got that you got Temple Smith and you got Booth and their crew doing their thing, which is shocking. They came out of nowhere, and it's like who needs Image Comics when you got these guys? But
Absolutely, no, absolutely. I think it's a lot of fun to see this kind of activity, and yeah, I mean, a couple of the names you mentioned. Hopefully, hopefully I can surprise you from my end in 2022 with some of those names.
I think you will.
Just might.
You're full of surprises, to put it
Full of
bluntly.
surprises.
Good kind, not the got your
Yeah.
face.
I'm excited for this. One other thing to kind of mention. So I just again, thank you for everybody for listening. Thank you for supporting. You got a few more hours left today, basically, to go support this thing. But if you did miss it, you're listening to this later. Reach out to Larry. You can get your hands on this comic. We're gonna,
It's
if
not
you're
too
looking
late.
at this, it's not too late.
It's never too late for Gemini Jump.
Um, if for whatever reason you're like, I don't like the mail, because I mean, who likes the mail? There is a chance one of the places that is there's a couple places will be selling this comic on shelves. We'd have some retailers sign up that will certainly carry it in their shops, and that's really good. We appreciate that too. But one of our kind of quiet partners in this has been Sub Pop, and
I'm letting you talk about this because I don't want to say a word till you said it.
yeah. So Sub Pop is a music brand. People know, if you're in the Seattle area, that's been an interesting kind of brand that responsible for a lot of underground music, a lot of the grunge scene, and really some pretty impressive stuff. If you've ever traveled through the Seattle Tacoma Airport on your way, you've seen there's a Sub Pop shop there. There's a Sub Pop shop in downtown Seattle and a number of other places. But if you've been in there, and if you were in one of the stores, you've already seen Gemini Jump on the shelves until somebody was told that they put it out there early and shouldn't have done that. But this comic will be sold there. So if you're happen to travel through Seattle and you stop in at the airport, unless it's sold out, you can grab your comic right there from the airport, which is pretty cool.
Yes, I'm. It's as much as I'm used to printing up do-it-yourself. Going from doing do-it-yourself Jack Chick style tracked comics at Staples, printing that stuff up myself, to having something at a Sub Pop store in the inside the Seattle Tacoma International Airport, right?
It's cool, right?
That's a big jump, big Gemini jump.
It's a big Gemini jump. I see what you did.
No, it is. That's fascinating.
I know that they're saving a box of 100 of these for the airport, or not 150. Sorry, I know there's box 50 they want, so that when the Emerald City Comic Con goes down here in about a month, that this book's on the shelf at the airport when this thing's going on. I'm looking forward to some comic pros going into the Sub Pop shop to look at various music things, because there are a lot of really cool memorabilia there. You got Kurt Cobain merchandise and other stuff from that era, and there's going to be your comics sitting there, and they're going to be like, what's a comic book doing in here? And it's going to be yours that they're going to see in that shop. In fact, I think that's the only comic you'll be able to purchase in the airport in Seattle, for that matter.
It's like what me and the Well, me and the Nightmare Before Christmas at the Cracker Barrel.
At the Cracker Barrel, yeah. No, but I mean,
I love that.
It's your stuff, and it's. I mean, I guess if you go down to like the, some of the airport bookstores, you could probably get your hands on Dogman. It's going to be Dogman and Gemini Jump in the Seattle airport. So I mean, little thing. It's just kind of cute. I like stuff like that.
I look forward to the rides. How dare you carry this here? This is heresy. This is sub pop. To understand, I'm actually. This is actually the first time, folks, that he's actually told me that I will be. I thought, they carry comics there. I've never been to a sub pop store. I don't have them here in North Carolina, in my area especially.
Yeah. Well, it's not a big chain. It's definitely not.
Well, still, it's being on the shelves. That's one thing. You don't really see that anymore. And that right there, I think, like, you've done videos on this.
It's fun.
It's a step, and a journey is made with steps. And I think this right here, especially for our future in comics, whether it's solo, doing your own writing and art, collaborative, bouncing ideas, if not inking, penciling, what have you. And I think 2021's been interesting. 2022 will be even better, I think, when it comes to comics and for us. And thank you all for helping make it possible. And hopefully you'll be there, and more will be there for future Gemini Jump stories, Gemini Jump 2, 3 Past Midnight, Perch's comic.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be some fantastic kind of, we call it, I guess you call it waiting in anticipation to see how things turn out.
I can absolutely promise a lot of people you've heard on this show in one form or another will be doing some work together the next 2 years. So it's always, I work with my friends, and I work with the people who are good, and I think we'll see what we can do, and I'm just excited. Again, it's a very small footprint. You see a lot of campaigns, getting 100,000, just huge amounts of money. I can say with all honesty, I'm nothing but thrilled about what happened here for you. I'm glad you got the exposure and the money and the backers, and it's people are going to love this product.
I think so too, and I love all you for backing it and giving us a little bit of your time and your well wishes. And to you, have a wonderful day, night, whenever you're listening to this. And thank you again, Perch, for making this possible.
Well, thank you, Larry, for making it. That's the that's the key. And all the viewers here, like Larry said, thank you very much for your support, whether it was actually backing or just moral support. We both are actually wonderful for us, and we really appreciate it. And this has been a successful campaign. You made that happen. So thank you, and have a great day and night.